Welcome to the sixth lecture on vibration of a stretch string. In this video, I am going to discuss about energy of a vibrating string. Basically, I am going to derive an expression for energy and I'll discuss some of the important fact about it. So, this is the schematic of a string of length L fixed at both ends. Okay. Now, suppose you want to create a wave in it, then what we will do? Basically, what we will do, we will displace the string from its original position. Okay. So while displacing, we just hold at any point, suppose around the element dx, and then we will pull it and then we will leave it. So while doing so, basically what you are doing some work against the tension which holds this string at its original position. So when you are doing work against the tension, that work basically is stored in the string as potential energy, and when you leave it, it will start oscillating. As a result, you will have a kinetic energy. So that's how we can visualize the energy in a vibrating string. So let's try to find out the expression for that. So this is the wave equation satisfied by a transverse wave in a string. I have derived this expression in lecture 1. C is the velocity of wave in the string, y is the displacement. If you solve this wave equation for the case of a string fixed between two ends, you will get this general solution. Here, Cn and phi n constant, Kn is given by n pi over L, L is the length of a string, n is an integer, omega n is Kn into C, C is given by T over M, square root of T over M, T is tension of the string, M is the mass per unit length of the string. This also I have derived in lecture 2. You will find the link of the videos in the description. So we know the expression for the displacement, and that's what we all need, because once we know the displacement, we can easily calculate the velocity, because time derivative of displacement is the velocity. We know the velocity, then the kinetic energy will be half mv square, velocity square. Now in order to write it in the compact form, we just assume that Cn cos omega n t minus phi n as a xi n. It don't have any extra advantage just writing it in the compact form. So the y become like this. So y dot, what will be the y dot? Y dot will be sine knx xi n dot, where xi n dot we can write it like this. Now let's write the expression for the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is half mv square. So we will have half, m means mass. We know small m is the mass per unit length. So m into dx will be the mass of that element into y dot square. This is the kinetic energy for the element dx. So what will be the kinetic energy for the full string? Okay, whole string. So we need to sum over all the such kind of element, that will we can integrate over 0 to L. Now substitute the values, and so we are substituting y dot here. So as it is square, we can write it 2 times. So we will have m over 2, 0 to L. Now we are using two indices, n and s, and we are writing it as a one as n and another as a s indices. So we have to integrate it. Now these two are only function of t, while the integration is over x. So we don't need to bother about this. What we need to bother about only these terms. Okay, so we have to integrate it and we have to perform this summation. Now the integration over 0 to L sin knx sin ksx dx is 0 when n is not equals to s. Okay, and and when n is equals to s, then it become L over 2. You try to do this integration by yourself. Use sin A sin B identity formula for that, and then try to integrate it. It will be very easy integration. Once we use this expression, then the kinetic energy expression will be look like this. Why? You just run over this summation, s equals to 1 to infinity. So when you substitute s equals to 1, then this become k1x, then s equals to 2. So you will have infinite number of terms. But because of this integration property, all term will vanish except when s equals to n. So in that scenario, this xi dot s becomes xi dot n, and this integration will give us L over 2. That's why we have m by 2 is already there, so we will have L over 2 summation over n equals to 1 to infinity. Xi n dot was 1, xi n dot was existing, another came from this term because we are running over this summation s equals to 1 to infinity. So when s become n, then the only surviving term is s equals to n. So this gives us xi dot n. So we have this, substitute the value of xi dot. Okay, so this is what the expression for the kinetic energy. Here m is the total mass of a string, small m is the mass per unit length, L is the length of a string, so capital M is the total mass of the string. Now for the potential energy, I have already discussed that potential energy is work done against the tension in stretching the string. Now the potential energy associated with this element delta L, okay, is the work done against the tension in stretching the element delta X to delta L. So just to find the relation between delta L and delta X, we can write delta L equals to square root of delta X square plus delta Y square. Here the assumption is this element is very small enough, also the displacement is very small. So even though it's not exactly a straight line, but we can assume this is a straight. So we can assume from this triangle that delta L square equal to delta X square plus delta Y square. Now we can take delta X outside of this square root, then we will have this delta Y square by delta X square become del Y del X square. Now del Y del X square is very small, so we can approximately write this term as this. Now the potential energy will be T times change in the length, that is delta L minus delta X. So just substitute the delta L minus delta X from this expression. This become T times half delta X into del Y del X square. Substitute the value. Del Y del X we can find out. We know the Y. Y is the sine kn x xi n. So del Y del X become kn cos kn x xi n. So square of this. Now we have a square term of this. We need to write it 2 times. So just write it 2 times. One with n indices, one with s indices. So we will have kn, ks, xi n, xi s, cos kn x, cos kxx. Okay. Now this is for the element delta L. Then what will be the potential energy for the whole string? We need to integrate it over all the element. So just integrate overall. So like previous case here, the integration will be on the x, and xi n and xi x are the function of t only. So we need to bother about only this part. Even though it's a cost term, but it has exactly similar property like a sine function. So the integration of this will be 0 when n is not equals to s, and integration of this cost product is L over 2 when n equals to s. You can do this integration exactly similar manner. Just use the identity cos a cos b, and then you can write into two separate cost terms and integrate it, substitute the limit, you will get this answer. It's a very easy, try to do it. So under this scenario, the expression for the potential energy will become this. Exactly similar explanation. Suppose you run over this whole summation, then you will get infinite number of term, but all term will become 0 because of this integration. Only the surviving term will be nth term in this summation. So for that nth term we will have this ks become kn, so we will have kn square. This s becomes n, so we will have n square, and integration will give us L over 2, so we will have L over 2. So its total become T into L over 4. Now Kn we know, Kn is omega n upon C. So we have C square here, omega n square. Substitute the value of n. Now we know C is root over T over M. So C square equals to T over M. So if you substitute that value, what you will get, that this TL over C square is nothing but M. Okay, T over C square is small m into L is capital M. So M over 4. So we know the expression for the kinetic energy, we know the expression for the potential energy. So total energy will be sum of that. So we just sum up, and what we will get, that total energy m over 4 summation over n equals to 1 to infinity xi n dot square omega n square xi n square. Okay, and just look from this expression, this is m over 4 xi n square omega n square, and this is xi n square. So this term similarly for the kinetic energy expression, which finally looks like this, because this contain the sine square, this contain the cos square, and the common will be omega n square cn square. So if you take the common omega n square cn square, then you will left with sine square omega nt minus phi n plus cos square omega nt minus phi n. So that will be the one. So this is the final expression. Please try to do it by yourself also, so that you will gain confidence. Just by looking is not enough. And so this is the final expression. And the important thing you can note from here, this is sum over n, and there is no cross term. Like we know that when you in a vibrating string we have infinite number of modes, so you can easily see that energy, total energy is equals to the sum of energy associated with the individual mode. So when you suppose you have only one mode in your vibrating string, then energy will correspond to just the energy related to the first mode. Suppose you have first two mode, then total energy will be the energy of first mode plus energy of the second mode. If you have 10 mode, then if you sum up the energy of each modes, then you will get the total energy. So the total energy is equal to the sum of the energy associated with the individual modes. Okay, so that was the expression. So let's understand some of the important facts. First is, as I discussed, total energy in a vibrating string is equals to the sum of energy associated with the individual modes. Now, energy of one mode is independent with the energy of other mode. It doesn't matter what the first mode have energy. Energy of any mode is completely independent, and energy cannot be exchanged between the modes. What it means, suppose you just gave some kind of energy to the your string. Suppose it is vibrating is n equals to 10th mode, and then it will not automatically transfer the energy to the 11th mode in order to generate that mode. So I'm stopping here. See you in next part. Thank you.